Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I've got a Foundation Friday for over 50s review of the Rare Beauty Foundation by Selena Gomez. This retails for $29 for 1 ounce and it comes in 48 shades. Now, I have a soft spot in my heart for Selena because, of course, my kids were preteens and children when she was on the Disney Channel, so I feel like she grew up with me. I watched her as a child on TV, and then to grow up and to become a recording star and, you know, whatever else she's doing today. Kind of lost track of her over the last few years. Anyway, but back to the foundation. This is supposed to be a weightless foundation with concentrated pigments that feels barely there while providing buildable medium to full coverage and a natural finish. It is also vegan and cruelty-free. It comes in a really nice feeling frosted plastic bottle. It also has an oversized doe foot applicator. The shade that I got it in is 220C. It's a pretty good match for me. I think it is a little bit warm still, even though it is a cool shade. But going forward, I think I might repurchase it in a slightly lighter shade. They do lean very, very warm. So if you're normally a neutral like I am, go for the cools. I also grabbed the concealer and the blush because I was curious about those and figured why not give them a try. So the concealer is called the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. I also got this in shade 220C and it was $19 for 1/4 ounce. Same nice packaging. And I also grabbed the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Joy for $20. So we are going to be putting all three products to the test today on more mature, less than perfect skin. I'm 58, I have wrinkles in large pores, age spots, and I like a foundation that makes my skin look better than it is. So I like it to be smoothing, color correcting, not settling in wrinkling. I have combo skin. I'm mainly normal, slightly oily sometimes through the T-zone and sometimes dry around my mouth or temple area. So that's my skin. So I've worn this 2 days already. Today is the 3rd day that I'm wearing it. I like to try them over a few days to try other primers, setting powders, setting sprays, different application methods. And so I've got a full review for you here today. If you love a full and thorough foundation review with nice close-ups so that you can see what's going on my face, give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. All right, let's get into it. So the first day that I wore this, I had my Elta MD UV Elements SPF 44 sunscreen on. I don't use a primer on the first day so that I can see how it wears without any helpers. I applied it on one side of my face with a damp beauty blender and the other side of my face with the BK Beauty 101 brush. This is a lightweight liquid foundation that spreads quickly and blends easily. It covers imperfections and even skin tone with a soft satin finish that I thought was really flattering. It's not super heavy full coverage. It's not super sheer lightweight either. It's just a nice sheer to medium coverage. It gives a really nice skin-like finish. I think it's really pretty. I did pick up her concealer as well, so let's give the concealer a try. I got this in the shade 220 as well, 220 Cool. So just to compare the shades, you can see that they did make the concealer a little bit lighter than the foundation so that you can get the same shade and it will be a little bit lighter. Oh, and I like the shape of this. You can just like grab it and twist. That's cute. And this has, ooh, a huge doe foot. Wow, that's really big. I usually don't use a ton of concealer, so I'm going to put it on the back of my hand first to start. All right, so far so good. Everything looks smooth and nice. Foundation looks nice. The concealer looks good. With the brush, it gives slightly fuller coverage, but doesn't leave any streak marks. There were no polka dot pores, so I was really, really happy with it. I also picked up the blush, and it's a good thing that I kind of started goofing around with this yesterday because this is so pigmented. I thought I was putting the tiniest amount on my cheeks, and it was huge. I'm just going to touch the doe foot there like that and not really use very much of it. I'm going to just pick up like the tiniest dab on my finger, and hopefully this is going to be okay because, yikes, I think that might even be too much. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 106 brush. I mean, look how much color payout that tiny little bit I put on this side is giving. So be super, really awesomely careful with this. but I think it's pretty. It looks nice. It's a good color. All right, here's the Rare Beauty foundation with the rest of my makeup on. I have on the Rare Beauty concealer, the Rare Beauty cheek color. It's the Natasha Denona palette on the eyes. Very pretty gray look today, and no setting spray. Wayne Goss Daisy on the lips. So far so good with the foundation. Really like how it looks, really like how it feels. It feels fairly dry and fairly set. It doesn't feel like drying. It feels nice and hydrating and comfortable to wear. Up close though, it has settled into my smile lines and my forehead wrinkles already. So, you know, it's not the kind of settling that it looks terrible, but it is in there. So we'll see if we can get a good look at that. Right there. It doesn't look bad when it settles. Like only me and my 10x mirror could see the settling. No one else could see it. And it still looks really like creamy and natural, and it doesn't do it in a way that's like cracked or makes your wrinkles look worse. So depends on how you feel about it settling in your wrinkles. Usually it's a deal breaker for me, but I gotta say, even settled in my wrinkles, I didn't mind how this one looked, mainly because I thought it looked so pretty on the skin, but especially that it seemed to be really smoothing on my pores and my texture. So it was kind of a trade-off. So anything that's smoothing, I'm willing to forgive it a little bit of settling, as long as the settling doesn't look horrible, and it actually didn't look that bad. So let's take a look at it out in the real world without the studio lights in different lighting conditions. All right, foundation check in yellowy overhead kitchen light on Rare Beauty foundation. Rare Beauty foundation in natural window light. I mean, my skin isn't great because of all the sun damage that I've done, but this is like the smoothest I think I've seen it look in that bright sunshine. 5-hour check-in on Rare Beauty foundation, and I am really, really happy with it. It hasn't gotten like extra super shiny or luminous. It's just kept its original luminous quality, but where I powdered it, I think it still looks fine. Where it originally settled in my wrinkles, of course, it's still settled in there, but it's wearing really well. It's not worn off on my nose like most foundations are. My nose is like pink and showing through, and my chin and everything, but this is actually wearing really nicely. I'm very happy with it. Nothing feels drying, nothing looks dry. It feels comfortable to wear and lightweight, looks natural on the skin. So like I'm very happy with how it is still lasting on my nose. Usually my nose is the first thing to wear off. Of course, I didn't wear a mask yet today. I am going out, so I'll need to wear a mask later. I don't think it's making me look overly textured. I think, you know, even without primer, this is really smoothing on the skin. And let's take a look at the concealers. There's just the tiniest bit of creasing at the inner corner, but I think that the coverage is still in place pretty good. So yeah, I'll be going out to dinner, so I'll be wearing a mask for a bit, and I will come back and give you the mask report on it later. Oh, hello. 10 hours in with the Rare Beauty foundation. I think from a distance, it still looks really, really nice. It hasn't gotten overly shiny. It looks in place pretty well from a distance. From up close, it's starting to show signs of wear. Oh, I did have the mask on for about 20 minutes, so not bad for mask wearing. It is kind of sliding around a little bit right up here on my forehead. A little pink around here on my chin. I mean, it's not wearing off badly. It's not breaking up and looking horrible. It's not feeling dry. It's not looking flaky. It still looks like skin-like and youthful. The concealer, not looking great and looking a little creased at the 10-hour mark, but not horrible either. It does look a little bit dry and a little bit settled in wrinkles out here. So moving on to day 2, I always like to try a different sunscreen with it. So I used my La Roche-Posay Anthelios SPF 50, which is a chemical sunscreen. I used 2 different primers. I used Beauty Blender, the Leveler Primer on one side of my face, and the It Blurring Primer on the other. I used my fingers to apply it on one side just to see if it would go on with the fingers. The finger application wasn't bad, but it was definitely like chunkier than a sponge or brush application. And again, I used the BK Beauty brush on the other side. I much prefer the application with a sponge or a brush over the fingers, but if you're 100% a fingers person, you could get it on that way, blend it in, and have it look nice. The luminous finish of the sunscreen, I feel, was showing through a little bit more on this day because the finish was a little bit more luminous than it had been the day before. Even though I did use primers, I feel like it doesn't look as good today, especially under my eyes. The concealer is really bumming me out today. It's really creased already, which yesterday I had much better wear with it. I feel like this is a little creasy right in here on both eyes already, and it's only been like half an hour since I put it on. I don't know, just not as happy with it today as I was yesterday. Okay, 5-hour check-in on the Rare Beauty foundation for today. I don't like it as much today as yesterday, mainly because of the sunscreen. I feel like the luminosity from the sunscreen is showing through. Even though I did powder it, I feel like it's a little bit more worn off today, like on my chin and on my forehead. There's a few places up here that it's definitely like sliding around or has marks in it. Like the primers just don't seem to help it. I don't know. And on the concealer, I feel like my under eyes just look super dry today. I feel like I liked it all much, much better yesterday. Hello, it's now time for the 10-hour check-in on the Rare Beauty foundation, and yeah, it's not wearing as well today as it did yesterday. As you can see, my nose is bright red. Much more worn off than yesterday, and I didn't wear a mask at all today. Didn't really leave my house except to go outside to my yard with the dogs. You can see it's much more worn off on my nose in a not pretty way. You know, I kind of like a foundation that doesn't have to have primer to make it look good, and this definitely is one that doesn't require you to have a primer under it to help it to look good or to wear long. So that was it for day 2. I don't really feel like it added that much, so let's move on today. Today I went back to using my Holy Grail sunscreens and no primer because that was how it seemed to look and perform the best. I applied it with the brush today. I used the blush again today. I didn't use the concealer. I gotta say, I'm not 100% on board with the concealer. I feel like it was fine, but my under eyes looked just a lot drier than they do at the end of the day when I use my Mackie Complete. That one is like the hydrating formula from Lancome, and it's really good and keeps my under eyes like not dried out and crusty looking all the way till the end of the day. The flash test is the last thing we have to do on this one. I took it earlier. Let me bring it in right now. I think it's a good looking flash test. I've been getting bounce back on a lot of the foundations I've been trying lately. This one, I don't see any bounce back. That is all the testing on it that we have. It is time for the pros and cons on Selena Gomez Rare Beauty Foundation. On the pros side is the soft, luminous finish that's natural looking and skin-like, that it doesn't settle into pores, it's easy to apply and buildable, it's comfortable to wear and non-drying, and it's also long-wearing on its own. And one of the best things about it is that it's smoothing on pores and texture. On the con side, there's only one, is that it does settle into wrinkles, but having said that, it's usually a deal breaker for me, but on this one, it's not going to be because it doesn't make my wrinkles look bad. It doesn't crack in them. It doesn't make them look more wrinkly and worse. So I don't mind it. I feel like no one else can see it but me, so I am okay with it on this one. So I think if you give this a try, you might really, really like it. So if you want to see where it ranks on the list of all the foundations that I've ever tried, I keep that running list over on my blog. I'll link it in the information box below this video. I think it's going to be pretty high up there. I know you guys always want to know, like, is it a new Holy Grail? Is it knocking, you know, my current Holy Grail off its pedestal? So I'd say my current Holy Grail is the Estee Lauder Futurist Foundation. I love this one. It's very, very similar to the Selena Gomez Rare Beauty Foundation, except that this comes in a more limited shade range. And so if you don't have a shade match in this, like I don't, you might be able to find a good shade match in the Rare Beauty product, and then that could solve your problem. Then I also do like the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. This is a really great one. Again, very similar to this. Did get a good shade match in this one, but it has fewer shades. This is the least expensive of them, so if this one at $39 or the Estee Lauder at $40 were out of your price range, this can save you another $10. So anyway, I just think that there are reasons to try this. I really, really like it. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed the review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little bit of time with me today. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.